India's soul lives in her villages. Look, that quote by Gandhi is so cliche, but if I'm honest, I always think about it whenever we come to India and we go beyond the cities that we love so dearly. That's why we've come to West Bengal. Welcome back, or if you're new here, I'll get you up to speed real quick. I'm Steph, this is Pete. We travel a lot with our son Hayes, who turned 5 right here in this village. We lived in Mumbai for 2 years, and India is our favorite place to travel, so we've come to West Bengal for a couple of weeks to see how Durga Puja is celebrated here. We spent Ashtami in Kolkata, and now we are in a village about 150 kilometers northwest of Kolkata called Banabagaon. As for a little more information on where we are and how we got here, back in 2010 and 2011, I studied for my master's in tourism development at London Metropolitan University, and as part of the program through an EU-funded project, back when England was part of the EU, we came to West Bengal to work with an organization called Bangla, who works in a lot of villages in rural West Bengal on culture development and ensuring that old art forms not only survive but can be sustainable and contribute to the improvement of the communities out here. So when we planned to come to Kolkata for Durga Puja, I reached out to Amitabha, who I haven't spoken to in 15 years, and he arranged for us to come visit some of the villages I didn't see on my previous visit to this area. But anyway, Bangla works in a bunch of villages in West Bengal, so as our first stop, we headed to Tepantar Theatre Village to check out their pandal.
Cool.
What was it?
Good question. Don't entirely have a lot of information or answers.
So there's this place that's extremely significant in West Bengal called Santiniketan, and it was founded in 1901 by Rabindranath Tagore, who was a poet and a philosopher. A world university, if you will, focused notably on Indian traditions at a time when British colonialism prevailed. Anyway, it's closed during Durga Puja, which took us a lot longer than it should have to understand. A little bit lost in translation. So now I'm sweaty, hangry, confused, and feeling a lot of parental guilt for spending my son's 5th birthday in a stuffy car in the middle of nowhere. Not the middle of nowhere, but you get what I mean. It was at this point in the day that the control freak in me wanted to know where we were going and how long it was going to take to get there and what the significance was. But I now realize that this isn't a perfectly packaged tour. Bangla isn't a tour company, and the priority isn't tourists. In fact, Amitabh has stressed multiple times that the point is not for these places to become the products of mass tourism. The priority is the communities. He told us one story about this kata embroidery entrepreneur, you'll see her in a bit, who went from making $5 to $6 US a day to $100,000 a year, and now that has spurred the construction of a new hub in her community for the kata embroidery, which you'll also see in a bit. Can you hear Hayes' friend calling him? Hey, let's go play with your friend. Those are precisely the kinds of successes he's interested in, not whether or not I'm comfortable zipping from community to community. But the other important thing to note is that when a meltdown occurs, and I'm not just talking about Hayes, it can usually be solved with one of 3 things: food, sleep, or sunshine.
Hopefully, this is a problem that food fixes.
So yeah, that did the trick. And we got to eat with our hands, which is even better. We then made our way to the next village where we got to see some kata embroidery.
What's ice cream taste like as a 5-year-old? Any long-time viewers out there who are keeping track of how many times I've asked Pete to carry wipes over the last 3 years and how many times he's actually had them?
This road is really out of control.
Somebody was hungry.
I wasn't. Who was hungry?
There are over 2,000 kata embroideries in this village, but since the hub that we were visiting was not going to be inaugurated until next week, none of them were here, so we moved on to one of their homes to admire some of their work.
All is not lost. We found some local artists, and they're going to show us their work. It's also just like fascinating learning how many days these things take. This one's made on pure silk.
It's a much more impressive craft than making YouTube videos. I can't believe that some of those take like weeks or months. They said one of those 5 months to make. Anyway, in case it's not clear, here in West Bengal, and frankly, all over India, there's just an overwhelming number of places with these incredible art forms. So we made our way to the next one.
Can I tell you something, Daddy?
Yeah.
If you wanted to wax and have a massage,
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't do it because if you wanted to have a massage, who would do it? Not me. So
Right.
who would do it? So that's why I want a sibling. Live on the cow. This is crazy.
This next one was famous for making dokra, which is a metal casting technique that uses the lost wax process. I'm talking about these things as if I totally understand them, just trying my best.
This is Dariyapur Dokra Artisan Cooperative, and this is where they make the small idols out of metal casting. And just have a little tour of the village.
The way that they make these is by forming the structures out of wax and then covering them in clay and then melting the wax and pouring in bronze or brass or another non-ferrous metal. See, I said non-ferrous like I knew what it meant.
No, that was good.
Big reason for us coming out to this was to see a rural Durga Puja, which we're seeing. But it means that we're missing some of the normal stuff that's going on, like they're making these small metal idols because everyone's off. They're on vacation, they're enjoying the holiday.
Being out here in the village makes me realize how much I love and appreciate getting to travel to off the beaten path places. But I'm not gonna lie, when we do come out somewhere remote, the first thing that goes through my head is, what will we do in case of an emergency? So as much as I enjoy this, I do also tend to plan for the worst, which is why we love Safe Doing. We've had their Nomad insurance for over 3 years now, but now that we are more settled in Chiang Mai with a home base, we're beginning to reevaluate how we handle our medical stuff on the road. And we're really interested in Safety Wing's new Nomad Health. It differs from the Nomad Insurance in that it covers you in non-emergency situations as well. So we could take Hayes for something as simple as just a wellness check, not just for an illness or emergency on the road. It still offers amazing coverage. It's available in over 175 countries. And the best part, the things I've always liked about Safety Wing, is the website and the back end and the fact that you can submit a claim in under 5 minutes and that they have live support available 24/7. I also love that you can do it via live chat because I'm a millennial who hates picking up the phone. And the claims get reimbursed super quickly too. With Nomad Health, it's within 14 days. So as we continue to weigh the pros and cons of both plans and make this decision, we will keep you posted. And in the meantime, I have left a link in the description. It's to a short questionnaire to see if Nomad Health would be a good fit for you. It's super quick. They don't take any credit card information or anything like that. So I really encourage you to check it out. So I looked up fowl to try to describe what it means. My favorite description was mystical minstrels. They're from this region of India as well as neighboring Bangladesh, and their influence on the culture of the area is considerable and even recognized by UNESCO for its intangible heritage of humanity. This ashram was built several years ago as a place for them to gather, and they also occasionally host groups of students or researchers or curious people like ourselves. You'll see us spend some more time with the bowels in a little bit, but on this evening we had more important things to tend to. Hayes' birthday cake.
Yes.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Where'd he go? Happy birthday, dear Hayes. Happy birthday to you. Go like this. There you go.
Turn the lights on.
When we woke up the next morning, we didn't know what was in store, but when we saw that our mode of transportation on this day was a rickshaw, we knew it was going to be a good day.
I think I'm old enough to drive a rickshaw.
Our first stop was to go show Hayes where his beloved milk comes from, but the real highlight of this visit was the 5 to 6 day old goats who still had their umbilical cords attached.
Now I can show you the baby pink. There's a baby one. How did some of them not connected to the rope? I guess the ones that are not connected to the rope are really, really, really good.
That's the primary reason I like village life. Mommy gonna get mad. I was just saying to Pete, I was getting kind of emotional. This is such a cool experience for Hayes. And then I was like, people live like this in Tennessee. Oh my gosh. Not like, you know what I mean? Oh gosh. I don't know, I don't like birds. I don't know what I was trying to say, but it's so cool doing this stuff with him. But I recognize that there's so much in our own backyard that we haven't done.
Next village, we got on lots of tuk-tuks and got fish. Daddy kind of messed up this part, but it's exciting. So they put these nets around the whole lake so the fish don't escape.
These videos would be like a fraction of the time if we just let Hayes tell you what happened. We returned back to the ashram for lunch and a nap, and we woke up to what was a really special afternoon. They had arranged for this tribal puppetry group to come do a performance for us, along with more singing from the bells.
তুমি গিয়েছো ঘুমায়া আমারে আসিবার কথা কইয়া ভগবান করে রায় গিয়েছো ঘুমায়া ভগবান করে রায়।
Honestly, I don't know what else to say other than this afternoon was absolutely magical and completely lost on Hayes, who made a friend to run around the campus with, so he was totally oblivious to the private performance of a rare art form that we were enjoying. Finally, it was time to conclude Durga Puja.
So last night, we go to this show where they put, at the end of
Durga Puja,
they put Durga in the water and then it dissolves or something. And like sand that dissolves in
Clay?
water.
Clay?
In water and sand at the beach or something. But sea sand is, well, we're not talking about that. Also, there was some fireworks that are really like, and I was so scared, like, and I make the friend that was not scared. Oh, this is cool. I love this.
that was great. Thank you. According to Hindu mythology,
We don't know what's going on, which actually adds to the excitement.
Durga comes to Earth for 10 days to bless her devotees and defeat evil forces. Her departure through this method marks the conclusion of her earthly visit, signifying the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. The act of immersing the clay idol in water also reflects a deeper philosophical meaning, of course, reminding the devotees of the impermanence of life. The clay idols dissolving in the water represents the idea that all forms return to nature. This tradition is meant to inspire devotion, humility, and an understanding of the transient nature of life. Whatever the significance, we had been so excited about this for weeks, and we couldn't wait to experience it. And wait we did, because after the idols were shifted from the building to the pond's edge, the ceremony actually took quite some time. And if Indians are good at anything, it's time pass. And this evening's particular version of time pass seemed to be setting off handmade fireworks that were quite frankly terrifying.
But good things come to those who wait, and we finally got to see the idols being carried into the water. I think one of my favorite moments was one of the idols was kind of their hand was sticking out of the water and slowly sinking down. It was sort of like, see you next year, baby!
And the guys were like going in to make sure they went to the ground.
What'd you say? A hand was sticking out of the water?
Yeah, what was your favorite part of seeing them go in the water?
Sticking the hand up.
So that brings us to right now. It's our final day in Banabagram, and we're just relaxing and enjoying the calm village life today before we return back to Kolkata tomorrow. cannot thank Amitabha and Bangla Natak enough, and words, even as many as we've rambled in this YouTube video, can't describe how special and meaningful this experience has been for our whole family. And while this isn't a tour that I can promote via a simple click the link in the description, I have left a link to Bangla Natak down there because they are doing incredible work that is worth reading about. And if you're visiting India or if you live here, we cannot encourage you enough to go beyond the cities, because you know what? Gandhi wasn't wrong. Thank you for watching. If you missed our previous video, it was going to see a bunch of pandals in Kolkata on Ashtami, and if you like this one, we should have 3 to 4 to 5 more from our time here in Kolkata and West Bengal, and we're going to the Sundarbans, so you know what to do. If you want to see more, subscribe, leave us a comment, we appreciate you. Lunchtime?
Bye.
Okay. Oh.